Sheldan Nidle Update, November 4, 2014. Website, paoweb.com. 8 Akbal, 1 Zul, 11 Ik. Dratzo. We arrive. Your surface realm is now in the throes of a final struggle between the dark cabal and the forces of the light. This seemingly never-ending battle has gone on for decades and centuries. Way back in the final days of Rome, the Anunnaki swiftly made a smooth transition from emperors to kings. It used its abilities to sway and influence these new rulers and maintain a degree of incendiary combat throughout Europe. The same was done in Asia, the Americas and Africa. This turmoil is how the dark operates. It loathes peace and despises anyone who wishes to change this horrendous game. Our earthly allies realize that the dark overlords are gone. What is left is a group of foolish minions, arrogant and stubborn, who continue their childish maneuvers as their only gambit. The dark knows many ways to engage our earthly allies. Nevertheless, this strategy is no longer applicable. All that it does is work the dark into a corner from which it cannot escape. This present dilemma is one that dooms the dark to its inevitable defeat. We are presently seeing the signs of this doom at play. Before the Treaty of Ankara, the Dark Cabal intended to drive the Anunnaki away, to complete its final defiance of Heaven's edicts by mid-1996. The Anunnaki are gone as their overall leaders. What happened was a massive international war fought with money, impudence and overwhelming chicanery. This previously worked wonderfully, given the ability of the dark to manipulate any given situation. But this strategy began to fail in the second decade of this century. The light began to comprehend how we were able to force the dark into failure after failure. The light used these missteps to its advantage and reveal evidence that was legally used against the dark. In the last years, this led the dark to see its casino capitalism to be somewhat curtailed and the power of its fiat dollar diminished in value. Moreover, this strategy is backfiring as the truth behind its numerous lies is revealed, and evidence to arrest them increases. As a result, the dark cabal is at a crossroads. Its old successful methods no longer work. Its final strategies are quickly failing, and its continual attempts to start a war in the Middle East are not working. They are likewise unable to brew up a good-sized war in other potential global hotspots. In addition, the vast overspeculation in precious metals is also failing to prevent the rise of new global precious metal-based currencies. The pressure to revalue a number of currencies has been held up for about as long as possible. The light and its many agents are quickly causing the dark to lose large amounts of its many stock and commodity portfolios. The resultant price fixings are enabling the light to force a number of serious investigations that are deeply worrying the cabal. Nevertheless, that is the least of it. Our legal-based emissaries set up the means to bring down these heinous rapscallions. The cabal's crazy reaction is a sudden rash of odd suicides involving key members of the cabal-controlled large financial service corporations. These acts are an outward sign of their pure panic, which is now causing them to strike out and hope that their actions can delay the inevitable. The global mind control net over the world's governments is failing. Elements in the light's forces are making it quite clear that the old ways do not work anymore. The many de facto regimes, long controlled by these fiends, are beginning to desert them. The schemes for permanent world domination are slipping away forever. The time for their surrender approaches. Our Earth allies are finishing various agreements that are on the verge of ending the long hegemony enjoyed by these dark ones. As governments prepare to leave them, many large multinational banks are desperately readying to surrender in order to save themselves from the coming new financial system and its inherent transparencies. As the police used to say to their respective bad guys, surrender, the jig is up. The time for your grand celebrations is drawing very, very near. Namaste. We are your ascended masters. we come here with more insights into what is now happening. Our various associates in Asia and Europe continue to make great progress in defeating the schemes of the Dark Cabal. Our associates are very close to a number of vital breakthroughs, which are to spell a blessed end to a number of attempts by the Dark to start wars, spread disease and generally wreak havoc upon this most sacred realm. These actions are set to bring down the last key vestiges of this cabal and allow the light to carry out a series of important projects. These developments are to permit the light to make possible the funding of a number of humanitarian projects. These projects are to help stamp out future attempts by the Dark to spread its vile pestilence across this globe. Another is to allow for a global currency reset and the rise of precious metal-backed monies. These are just the start of what is to follow. Changes to this realm are just the next steps that mark the final part of your journey to return Gaia and yourselves to your natural states of existence. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors were thrust into a dualistic realm, run by the Anunnaki. They inherently knew that this realm was to take just a brief turn toward the dark. This twist was a part of Heaven's plan to bring peace to this galaxy. The Anunnaki, however, had another set of plans. These beings dearly wished to somehow make the temporary dark twist more permanent. Heaven knew that this could well happen. Their answer was to begin to bring avatars of the light to these realms to ultimately foil the Anunnaki's plans. We ascended masters are the last step in Heaven's grand plan to counter the schemes of the Anunnaki and their faithful minions. As you can see, Heaven and the light succeeded in their strategy to seed this surface realm with followers of the light. Consequently, you are on the verge of many great changes that are to set you divinely on your final journey to full consciousness. This coming time is when you are to be able to see a series of sacred events. Events that are to transform the very way this reality operates. With Heaven's guidance, our blessed task is to oversee the events that are already starting to manifest. At first, they will have a scattered effect. Then a veritable avalanche is to follow. The underlying aim is to heal Gaia and your societies of all the harm and deceit created by the dark. This bunch of rapscallions delayed your promised blessing by the use of lies, provocations and force. This time is over. Hosanna! 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 Today, we explained what is happening. We ask that you remain patient. Events are ready to occur, to change your world and return it to the light. This means a new financial system and new governance. This is to be topped off by a mass landing, which is a part of our first contact mission. Know, dear ones, that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of Heaven are indeed yours. So be it. Selamat Gajan. Selamat Jah. Syrian for B1. And be enjoy.